This is a Citizen Service Delivery Charter for Micro and Small Enterprises Authority. Service Charter. The Micro and Small Enterprises Authority is committed to providing the following services. For the service of registration of umbrella organizations, a customer is required to provide a minimum of 3 associations in 25 counties, 3 officials, that is the chairman, secretary, and treasurer, a signed umbrella organization constitution, and active emails, where the charges are 1,050, delivered within a timeline of 1 day. For the service of registration of associations, a customer is required to provide a minimum of 35 members and above, a minimum of 3 associations in 25 counties, 3 officials, that is the chairman, secretary, and treasurer, a signed association constitution and an active email, where the charges are 550, delivered within a timeline of 1 day. For the service of registering an MSEA, a customer is required to provide an active email, where the charges are 150 shillings, delivered within a timeline of 1 day. For the service of registering groups, a customer is required to provide 3 officials, a list of members from 5 to 34, and constitutive documents, if registered with any other body, where the charges are 550, delivered within a timeline of 1 day. For the service of filing annual returns from MSEAs and associations organizations, a customer is required to provide audited books of accounts, a list of members, a list of office bearers, and minutes of the AGM, where the charges are 350 for 100 members marks, 550 for above 100 members, and MSE 150, delivered within a timeline of 2 days. For the service of filing of change of particulars of organizations, a customer is required to provide the change of situation or location of the office, the postal address, the title of offices, the change of any member, and the inclusion of new members, where the charges are 550 for association, 1,050 for umbrella, MSE 150, and group 550, delivered within a timeline of 2 days. For the service of certification of documents, a customer is required to provide a copy of the certificate, the constitution of an association, the constitution of an umbrella organization, an extract of officials of an association or group, and an extract of officials of an umbrella organization, where the charges are 550 for certificate, 150 Kenyan shillings for constitution of an association or umbrella, and 550 for extract of officials of association and group, and 1,050 for extract of officials of an umbrella organization, delivered within a timeline of 1 day. For the service of replacement of certificate, a customer is required to apply for an association, umbrella organization, or MSA, where the charges are 550 for association, 1,050 Kenyan shillings for umbrella organizations, and 150 shillings for MSA, delivered within a timeline of 1 day. For the service of an official search, a customer is required to request a search for a registered association or MSA, where the charges are 550 Kenyan shillings, delivered within a timeline of 1 day. For the service of presiding over elections, a customer is required to provide a venue, where the charges are 9, delivered within a timeline of 1 day. For the service of providing governance skills to MSE associations, a customer is required to submit a formal application from a registered MSE association, where the charges are 300 shillings per official for a 3-day training, delivered within a timeline of 7 days. For the service of facilitating MSEs to participate in trade exhibitions, A customer is required to have market-ready services or products where appropriate charges apply, dependent on the exhibitor rates, delivered within a timeline of 30 days. For the service of organizing shows and trade fairs for MSEs to access local markets or regional markets, a customer is required to submit a formal application by MSEs with quality products or identification of innovative and good quality product by MSEA officers, where the charges are 1,000 shillings for local markets, 2,500 shillings payable to CMSEO for EAC, MSMAEs, trade fair markets, and cost for other regional trade fairs, dependent on the applicable charges, delivered once a year in every county and once a year for the EAC, MSMEs continuous. For the service of linking MSEs to potential markets, a customer is required to submit a formal application by MSEs with quality products where the service is free of charge, delivered continuously. For the service of provision of entrepreneurial skills, a customer is required to submit a formal application from MSEs or an MSE association where charges are dependent on the training program, delivered within a timeline of 5 days. For the service of linking MSEs to financial access, a customer is required to submit a formal application from MSEs where the service is free of charge, delivered within a timeline of 30 days. For the service of production development, a customer is required to submit a formal application by MSEs or through identification by an MSEA officer where the service is free of charge, delivered within a timeline of 14 days. For the service of linking MSEs for technical assistance on product development, a customer is required to submit a formal application by the MSEs or the MSE association where the service is free of charge, delivered continuously. For the service of payment to suppliers and contractors, a customer is required to submit all required supporting documents where the service is free of charge, delivered within a timeline of 30 days. For the service of general inquiries, a customer is required to reach out via email responses, letter responses, website responses, social media platform responses, one-on-one inquiries, answering incoming calls, returning missed calls, after-hours missed calls, or responses to walk-in clients, where all responses are free of charge, delivered within a timeline of 1 day to a week for written format, within 30 minutes for one-on-one inquiries, within 3 rings or 30 seconds for incoming calls, within 30 minutes to 1 hour for returning missed calls by 10 a.m. the next business day for all hours calls, and immediately for walk-in clients. For the service of provision of technical skills upgrading through Kariobangi MSE Center, a customer is required to provide identification of the technical skills gap by MSEs or technical staff, identification and linking of the MSEs to a relevant service provider, or a formal application by MSEs where the charges are 500 shillings per application fee, payable to the service provider, and 3,000 per month for a 3-month program, or as per the service provider's requirement, delivered immediately after at least 15 participants confirm and make payments. For the service of provision of technology transfer through Kariobangi MSE Center, regional TIDCs and worksites and trade exhibitions, a customer is required to provide a formal reference note from a primary association, collaborating institution, or a county enterprise development officer, alongside the attachment of apprentices to MSEs, where the charges are 50 shillings per hour for a minimum of 20 hours a week, delivered immediately, at least 5 participants confirm and make payments immediately. For the service of providing specialized common user facilities to MSEs at Kariobangi MSE Center, a customer is required to provide duly filled job registration cards where the charges depend on the working machines used, such as CNC milling machine at 350 per hour, surface grinder at 300 per hour, rotating bandsaw machine at 100 per kite, rolling machine 10 millimeters at 800 shillings, 8 millimeters at 600 shillings, 6 millimeters at 500 shillings, 4 millimeters at 400, machining milling machine at 350 per hour, lathe machining at 300 per hour, service grinder machines at 350 shillings per hour, shear machine per kite for 1.5 to 2 millimeters at 20 shillings, 4 to 4.5 millimeters at 30 shillings, 5 to 6 millimeters at 40 shillings, 8 millimeters at 100 shillings, 10 millimeters at 120 shillings, arc welding between 1.4 to 4 millimeters at 4 shillings per inch, 4 millimeters to 6 millimeters at 6 shillings per inch, 6 millimeters to 10 millimeters at 10 shillings per inch, 10 millimeters and above at 20 shillings per inch, and equipment like body jack at 500 per day, welding machine at 500 shillings per day, hatter nut grinder at 500 shillings per day, air compressor at 500 shillings per day, spray booth services at 500 per day, compressor at 500 per day, or spray gun at 200 shillings per day, delivered immediately. At least 5 participants confirm and make payments immediately. For the service of provision of various motor vehicle works at Kariobangi MSE Center, a customer is required to provide duly filled job registration cards where the charges depend on the service, such as motor vehicle bodybuilding works, minibus 28-seater at 20,000, minibus 40-seater at 26,000, lorry 3 tons at 12,000, lorry 7 tons at 18,000, spray painting small vehicle at 200 per day, medium vehicle at 250 per day, large at 300 per day, lorry at 400 shillings per day, wiring new vehicle at 600 shillings, minor at 300 shillings, graffiti new vehicle at 800 shillings, minor at 400 shillings, upholstery new vehicle at 500 to 800, minor at 200 to 400, windscreen new vehicle at 500, or old vehicle replacement at 200, delivered continuously. We are committed to courtesy and excellence in service delivery. Any service rendered that does not conform to the above standards, or any officer who does not live up to commitment to courtesy and excellence in service delivery, should be reported to the CS or PS or CEO or the principal of the public institution or the commission secretary or the CEO, Commission on Administrative Justice, on 2nd floor, West End Towers, Waiyaki Way, Nairobi. PO Box 20414 Nairobi. Telephone number +254 020 22 70000. Email complain@ombudsman.go.ke. Empowering MSEs. PO Box 488-23-00100 Nairobi. General line +254 20 3340 006 or 0700 666 000. Email info@msea.go.ke or Complaints at msea.go.ke. Website www.msea.go.ke. You have a right to quality services.